Hi everyone, I'm John Redmond here with HorizonHobby. How are you all doing today? Today we're going to do a whole new how-to video, not associated with one of our main products, but one for everyone out there who flies, and that's propeller balancing. How does it help improve the performance of your airplane? Well, let me tell you. One, a prop that's fully balanced and running true can turn higher RPMs on a gas or an electric motor. If it's an electric motor, it's going to have a lower current draw, longer flight times, and most importantly, it lowers the vibration in the entire airframe, which reduces premature failures of electrical components, bearings inside engines, and of course main structural failures. So prop balancing, very, very important. Need to do it on every prop. Now, keep in mind, when the world of Park Zone and Bind and Fly came to life and we grabbed these airplanes out of the box and started to have a good time, what we were doing is we were running 3S packs, prop RPMs, motor RPMs from about 7,800 to 8,200, 8,300. At that point, even if the prop wasn't balanced correctly, you didn't really notice it. The faster the prop turns, if it's out of balance, the more it's noticed. Just like the tires on your automobile, if they're not balanced, you may not feel it at 15 or 20 miles an hour, but as soon as you hit 75 on the interstate, you're feeling the vibration in the automobile. There's multiple ways in balancing a propeller blade. One, you can sit down. Once you find the heavy blade, we're going to show you that in a minute, you basically sand material off the heavy blade. We're removing some material. It's very light, doesn't take much, and we'll use some sandpaper to do that. Another one is we're going to also check the hub and ensure that the hub itself is balanced. And we're going to show you how to do that, and with that, you end up adding weight to the light side of the hub. And for us, in this intended purpose, it routinely will be some thick CA, a little bit of kicker. We'll show you that. And in the end result is the prop should stop at absolutely any location in a 360-degree arc. I'm going to take just an average prop, never been touched, never been balanced at all, and we're going to put it on here. And you can kind of see it's sitting here, it's rotating, and it's probably going to come back, and I'm just going to guess if I help stop it and slow it down, you may say that prop's fully balanced. It's sitting pretty level. But if we hold it in a vertical plane, it won't stay there. That's because the hub's out of balance in the center line of the prop. We're going to explain to you how to fix that here. Okay? Now, go ahead and remove this. Talk a little bit about the tools to do this. One is the Dubro True Spin Balancer. I've been modeling for better than 35 years, and I can tell you it is by far about the best, in my opinion, balancer you can buy. We're also going to need a single edge razor, a little 180 to 220 sandpaper. I've got some thick CA, some kicker, and I've got a couple of blocks. Now you're probably going, what in the world do the blocks have to do with this whole process? Well, they've got a lot to do, and I'll explain to you. When we put the prop on the balancer, most importantly, this rod that the prop sits on must be perfectly horizontal. If it's down, you're just not going to get an accurate reading. You'll be fighting it forever, even if it's off by just a degree. That's where these blocks come in. What we do is I sit down, I loosen up my two little collets that hold it, and I push the balancer down. I use two, one for each side. Push it down until it's there. Tightening up. That side's good. I pull my blocks out, and now I come to the other side, and it won't go in, so I need to loosen. I'm going to raise this up, get my blocks underneath there. And now, we can be pretty much assured that with the molded parts and the design, this rod is going to sit on here in a horizontal plane. Of course, we also want to be on a flat and level table as well. So, that's it. Now, that brings me to the point of tolerance. The tolerance of setting everything, there's going to be slight variations. The closer we can be to correct and perfect, the better off we are. When we're fully balanced, the key is the prop can be able to sit in just about any location. I'm going to take a prop here that I have balanced And although not perfect, you're going to see what I mean in the world of tolerance and how accurate it looks. Now this is an APC 12.8E prop. Let's face it, anybody that flies probably finds APC props deliver the best performance out of just a basic low-cost molded propeller. Molded propellers, it's the name of the game, works great, but keep in mind there is no way any manufacturer can contain and guarantee the absolute weight of each side of the blade. Every prop is going to be out of balance. Some may be closer than others, but on the average, everyone's out. Now this one I spent some time balancing, and we set it here. And as you can see, she sits here. She pretty much just sits anywhere we want. Say in the hub and everything, you're seeing it move just slightly off center. Probably not perfect, but this is at a very acceptable range. Put this on your airplane, I can assure you there's no vibration happening from the prop. That's our goal and such. Does it have to be perfect? No, but we definitely want it to be very, very good. So next, we're going to sit down and I'm going to take a Carbon Z Yak 54 propeller, and I have started the balancing process. Put it on my little thing here. And it's going to roll. And you can see it's kind of sitting on one side, and the end result is we are finding blades are level. Blades are probably relatively close, but there obviously is an issue within the hub. It comes back at rest here saying that the hub on the bottom is the heavy side, the hub on top is the light side. So here's where I'm going to take my CA. And once it's there, hit it with some kicker. That should kick it off pretty quick, and set it. I'm waiting to see here. And what this does is this adds weight to this side of the hub. Now, I'm going to put it back here and see if we can get out of our vertical, out of our horizontal plane. When I set this prop here, it should stay here, and it's still falling to that one side of the hub. Now this is always coming down saying that this blade could be heavy. Take a little sandpaper, and I'm going to sand on the leading edge of this blade and the trailing edge of this blade, removing more weight from this side in the picture, the left side of center line of the prop, and I'm going to add more weight to the right, trying to get all that in place. Now some may worry that you may distort the airfoil on the prop, and I'll tell you, these molded glass-filled nylon props, you're not taking a whole lot off. You're taking some, and it's over a larger span, and that's where it helps. But as for damaging the airfoil and such, I'm going to say chances are you're probably not going to do too much of that. Balancing a prop is routinely not something you can do in 20 or 30 seconds. And you can see we come in, now the prop is sitting and stopping just about anywhere I want it. And that's the key. The key, and you're going to find it's going to float ever so slightly. That comes down to that tolerance area. You can keep working it and get it dead perfect. Believe me, what we've got here is a very tolerable prop. You put this on your airplane, go out and fly. It's going to work great. The balance is going to be very nice, very solid performance and such, and it's not going to beat your airplane to death. You may find when you're done, you could have a large accumulation of CA on the hub to get it to balance. This will be covered by the spinner, so don't worry about that. And keep in mind, on high-performance tires, on high-performance sports cars, due to the high rotational speeds of that tire, it is very common for them to have weight installed to balance as well. So the key is take your time and patience. Keep in mind, think of a center line that runs down through the entire center of the prop, centering the hole. And that gives us a forward and a backward side, or if you sit down and watch, a heavy and a light side on the hub. That's where you will sand or add some tape or whatever you'd like out here on the blades. We have this here. I have an Evolution 11.7 that I glow prop. that we had tried to balance up. Didn't take too long. Took sanding on both sides, and it took some CA on the hub. Very, very important. Some people, all too often, will get it and put that prop and balance it just right there to where it sits level and say it's good, but they haven't verified the vertical axis of the prop. Now this one you're going to see, and this is kind of show you that tolerance. It's close, not perfect, but it's close, and it's very close. It's not moving hard. I could take more time and really work it and try and refine it just a little bit more, but in the tolerance world, this is probably about fine, where it'll sit down and deliver solid performance for you. Now, that takes us to the next step for the big guys out there. This is a Zinger 2410. There's vest props, there's Mejlik, men's, you name it, up to 32 inches. Same thing, same situation. Now, you're probably going, well, boy, John, this isn't going to work and such, and the rods inside here aren't long enough. Let me just show you a little trick on how to use this balancer. First off, we need to remove these little legs and put them in the middle. Now be very, very careful when you're screwing these rods in, because if you screw too much, you can actually get it to where it'll screw down into the table, and the end result is it doesn't sit flat. It doesn't have to go in far, just enough, and you still want it to sit flat. You can see I've got kind of different angles set up going there. You're probably going, my goodness, what's going on there? I'm going to show you. Now we set this on the edge of the table. We come, and you'll want to sit down, and of course you'll need to use some type of inclinometer or bubble level to ensure your rod is perfectly horizontal. And now, I'm a little off. I'm not going to spend too much time on this. This is just to show you that it can work. And once again, we can set it, and now the prop can rotate through the 360-degree motion, staying anywhere, showing it's fully balanced and such. But you can see the use of the balancer for the large stuff. On the bigger props, you can build with CA on the hub if you need to. The hub is so massive, it's not uncommon to drill a very small hole and maybe put in a little servo screw if you really are out of balance. It's very common as well. Our modelers using this type of aircraft probably have all the tools and I think understand that. So that's basically it. Once again, balancing props. It increases the performance of your aircraft. It increases the longevity of all the electrical components, the motor, ESC, batteries, and even if you're running a glower gas motor, the bearings inside the engine. Everything's in balance. It just works in tune a whole lot better. Want to make sure you take the time. Patience is a virtue here. The more you do it, the quicker you'll get. Very common to take anywhere from 5 to 10 minutes, sometimes 15 minutes to balance a prop. I've had some props balance in 2 minutes and such, but just wanted to show you this. It's something here, it's a nice tip that'll take you to the next level in your modeling. We hope you've enjoyed this little tutorial, and keep in mind, if you have any questions for me, you can find me at editors@horizonrc.com. See you at the flying field.